welcome to another. What is it?
Week 722 and a half,
Yeah,
I
of
think.
Quarantine Plotaholics edition or Plotaholics Quarantine edition if you're nasty.
I like that. It do
Um,
be that way sometimes.
it do be that way, as the kids say.
That's true.
I am sharing this out now to
I'm
folks
doing.
via my Facebook page. I hope that everyone out there will join us in hitting the share button.
Please
Uh,
do.
as we get things kicked off here, Brian,
I'm so excited. I
it's
just
a
can't hide
big
it.
it's a big week. I'm tired for some reason. Still got that spring break hangover, I guess.
It happens like that sometimes. You were partying, man.
I did get lit AF last week.
I love it.
And yeah, so I have had a hard time sleeping. I've been having crazy nightmares um, about demonic voices, and I think that I might be losing my mind. So
I think I'm losing my mind this time. This
that's
time
how
I'm
things
losing my mind.
that's how things are on this side. Uh,
I
so
love it.
anywho, thank you guys for joining in. Make sure that you say something in the comments. Let us know that you're there, and we're gonna get it.
Get it started.
Where should we
Let's
start?
get
What
it
is our top
started.
story of the day? I know our top story of the week probably is the
Hit
news
them.
that broke just after we ended last week, and that is that Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness now has a new director, and we are very excited. Sam Raimi.
Yeah. Sam M.F. Raimi, baby. So excited. You know what this means? Bruce Campbell is going to be in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I swear to God, if I get an Ash Williams cameo in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I am just going to paint the walls with joy.
That could be excellent. If it were, I've obviously had to pick up the dog here because the dog was starting to make noise again. So here's Ivy, everybody. Ivy,
Poison Ivy.
Say hi.
Ivy.
I'm a dog. Excellent commentary.
Glad to see that broadcasting school is really paying off.
Yeah, right. And I took out a loan for this.
Damn kids.
Very excited that Sam Raimi is making his journey back to a Marvel property.
I am very excited about this. You know, all joking aside, I think this is going to be absolutely amazing. Well, they said that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is going to have horror elements. Who best to get than Sam Raimi? Because the man is he's a master of horror comedy.
And he's a master at sequels. And he honestly has given us one of the best, even still, one of the best comic book films of all time. I mean,
Spider-Man 2
Spider-Man 2, you still can't ignore how great that film was.
You really cannot. Spider-Man 2 is still the benchmark of comic book films. Like, there is nothing negative that can be said about that movie.
It's definitely the benchmark for Spider-Man films.
It truly is. Like, the first Spider-Man was still really great. But then Spider-Man 2 said, "Hold my beer, kid. You're not ready for this."
Yeah. So very excited that Mr. Raimi is making his return to
absolutely. This is going to be absolutely amazing. And honestly, can you imagine Sam Raimi directing freaking Benedict Cumberbatch? It's going to be great.
I think it's going to be good. I think I want Sam Raimi to direct the Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, every Peter Parker Spider-Verse, live action Spider-Verse.
As long as Tobey Maguire does this.
Absolutely. Tobey Maguire has to be in the mix.
I
assume Anita means Sam Raimi and not Tobey Maguire at dancing.
Well, you never know, man. Tobey Maguire might be able to pull off the kid and play little thing. You know, the sola, ola, eh.
Yeah, for sure. So very exciting.
I love it. This is great because, like I said, Sam Raimi does amazing things with horror, does amazing things with horror comedy. And honestly, I'm really hoping, as Sam Raimi came out with the masterful Evil Dead 2, I would love to see sort of a mashup of Evil Dead 2 and Darkman with Doctor Strange in the middle. But I'm serious. If we see an Ash Williams, that can be an Easter egg for Marvel Zombies, and I would just lose my freaking mind. I so would.
You know, you think eventually we'll probably get some iteration of Marvel Zombies unless the bottom falls out of this thing.
It's never gonna. But I'll tell you something right now. If we did get a Marvel Zombies, it better be rated R.
Yeah, for sure.
And honestly, I wouldn't mind having it as a CG film. Sort of along the lines of what they were doing, what Capcom started doing with the Resident Evil films. They made them CGI, and so that way Paul W.S. Anderson couldn't.
What about an Into the Spider-Verse type animation?
I think you could do a lot of amazing things with like the blood and gore in that animation style. Absolutely. I mean, this is. I'm so excited by this news. You know, today I was sort of feeling a little bit how you were last week with just everything, and then I remembered, wait, not just this Doctor Strange news, and then the other news that we're going to get to in a few minutes. And it really just sort of perked me up a little bit. So I'm so excited about this.
We've talked just about every week about how things have been a little bit slow in the development stuff in the last few weeks, but we got a ton of news this week.
Absolutely.
A lot of it was just sort of like little drip, drip, drip type stuff, but then we got some pretty big reveals. So, in fact, today's big story, by my count, is that the second Venom film now has an official title. And that title is
Let There Be Carnage. I can't wait. Now, here's the thing. I didn't like Venom. I love the character Venom. I hated Topher Grace's Eddie Brock in Venom. I love Tom Hardy, but I didn't like the movie. The movie felt extremely rushed. I mean, it's still a fun film. I own it. I will watch it every now and again. But when they had Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy in that end credit scene, and then they confirmed,
saved it, because
I think that truly did save it for me.
I agree with you. I enjoyed it enough, the first Venom film, but I am looking much more forward to this one. Carnage is one of my favorite characters.
He is. Carnage was among the first big character arcs in comics that I really was aware of.
I think he's going to be really tough to do on film, and I think honestly, if they don't do it well this time, this may be our one shot at it.
Well, this is the way I see it. If Sony can't knock this out of the park, the Spider-Verse goes back to Marvel. I'm calling it now. If this movie fails, if this movie is looked at as ho-hum, because here's the thing about comic book fans and comic book nerds and comic book movie fans. You get us excited and you fail us, you're done.
Yeah.
And Sony has failed us way too often in the past.
So where do you think the first Venom fell off? Do you think that it was
Spider-Man? No Spider-Man.
Is that really it?
Yeah, because you can't have Venom without Spider-Man.
Is it the fact that because they didn't have Spider-Man, they were forced to kind of do this anti-hero thing with him?
Yeah.
Not really his first iteration?
Well, I think the one thing that they did positively is that he wasn't doing a lot of Spider-Man-esque things. He wasn't web slinging like he does a lot in the comics, because there was no Spider-Man for him to sort of get that ability from.
Yeah.
So they have it more where he just moves with speed and strength and climbing, which it works. But why the suit? Why does his suit looks that way? Because it's supposed to be a gross misrepresentation of Spider-Man's suit.
Yeah.
So having no Spider-Man kind of started it. And I think they tried to modernize Eddie Brock, and I can understand that, and that can be pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, Spider-Man is such a huge part of the Venom mythos. Well, matter of fact, he is the reason for the Venom mythos.
Yeah.
So that's where and then of course they couldn't pronounce symbiote.
Oh, I was just about to ask you about that.
Oh, I was losing my damn mind. It's symbiote, not symbiote.
Symbiote.
It's a symbiote. Mm-hmm. Okay. I flipped out over that like I flipped out over the freaking Sith Wayfinder or whatever bullcrap they did. I mean, but Tom and Anita hits it right on the head in the comments. Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson are both amazing actors. And I'm really, really hoping that their combined talent can do a good job on this. Mm-hmm. I really hope we actually see a cameo of Tom Holland in this, because you cannot have Spider-Man or Venom.
I think there's a better than average chance that he'll be there.
Because you can't have a Venom and a Carnage without Spider-Man. And as a matter of fact, I remember playing the Maximum Carnage video game on Sega Genesis, red cartridge version.
Oh, ditto, actually.
Mm-hmm. And this brought together so many characters in Marvel because Carnage is that deadly. I mean, you get someone that is stronger than Spider-Man, which is insane because Spider-Man, I don't care, like, I still get angry to this day sometimes when I watch Captain America Civil War, because Spider-Man is way more physically powerful than Captain America. He just is. So you get Carnage, who's stronger than Spider-Man, who is as fast as Spider-Man, and has no regard for anything living.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you need a lot of people involved to help you fight this guy. For sure. I'm very excited.
I mean, they did some stuff to try to work around the existence of Spider-Man by putting him in San Francisco. And, you know, like an East Coast, West Coast thing. I think eventually they have to find a way to bring these two guys together, though.
They truly do. I think, well, here's the thing. If this film, either way, we as fans are going to win. If this fails, the Spider-Man everything is going to go back to Marvel, because if it loses this much money, Sony's going to end up having to finally cut their losses. Into the Spider-Verse, one success isn't going to be enough.
If
it succeeds, then Marvel is going to have to really work together with Sony to keep this all together, because the heat is on both Marvel and Sony.
Yeah.
The heat is on both of them to keep Spider-Man in the MCU and to combine these things. Mm-hmm. So we're going to win no matter what this movie does.
Yeah. We just might not win this movie.
No, we probably won't. We probably won't. Now, here's well, go ahead with your question before I give my...
my question is, do you think that they'll kiss in this movie?
I'm pretty sure if they do, it's going to have a lot of hate. It's going to be like,
a hate kiss?
It's going to be a hate kiss. Because, wow.
I like hate
kiss. I swear to God, man, those tongues are putting Gene Simmons to shame. I think he's about to sue somebody.
Right. Now, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say that, do I want this movie to succeed? Yes, because I love our two leads.
Yeah.
Will it succeed? Sony seems to be able to knock it out of the park with the animated stuff. They can't seem to do anything else right with this property. So we'll see.
Hey,
but
Trevor Wing in the house.
Trevor!
On the other side of the planet.
Nice. Is he a captain?
I don't think so. But Trevor, make sure that you tell us what your official rank is right now. He's in the Air Force. So
oh, nice. Well, shout out to Anita, because she knows her comic lore, that Spider-Man went toe to toe with the Herald of Galactus and won. So that lets you know how badass Spider-Man is. Yeah. And we're definitely going to be to get
not a captain yet.
Oh, okay. We are going to be getting some Secret Wars, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, if they do it right, it's going to be bigger than the Infinity Saga.
Yeah, for sure.
If they do it right.
Right. I mean, that's sort of the trajectory of the whole thing, is that it has to keep going, you know, has to keep ramping up. So while we're on comic news, I guess we should talk a little bit about J.J. Abrams being tapped to develop a Justice League Dark series for HBO Max. J.J. Abrams pictured here making Star Wars Episode 9.
He worked so hard at Episode 9, didn't he?
He worked really hard. He had so much fiber in his diet. So yeah, so JJ is tapped to create Justice League Dark series for HBO Max. How do you feel about this, Brian?
I don't care. I don't. If J.J. Abrams' name is attached to it, my give a damn is busted at this point.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams, I enjoyed the first Star Trek film. I thought it was really fun. The second one, I kind of just fell off the rails toward. And then he showed up for Star Wars, and I'm like, hey, maybe this one. Honestly, I don't care. I don't give a damn what J.J. Abrams does. He's probably he's gonna do this with Batman. I see it now. Honestly, if you want DC property and stuff, just keep watching Flash and Legends of Tomorrow and whatever else they throw on
Yeah.
CW.
Now, I mean, it's a little frustrating, man. Now I know that HBO Max is essentially going to become what DC Universe is. Like they're gonna bring DC Universe over to the HBO Max side of things. So, if they wanted a Justice League Dark featuring some of these characters, I can't imagine that they would have canceled Swamp Thing.
Yeah, and that's what irks me. Now, here's the thing: HBO can do dark. Case in point, let's look at Spawn, which is still one of the greatest animated comic series of all time, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
But and Trevor hits it right on the head. J.J. Abrams can bring bells. He can bring whistles. J.J. Abrams is the grandmother that wraps your Christmas socks in really awesome wrapping paper.
It always looks good, man.
It does. Like, you know what, Jay? This is how I look at J.J. Abrams' filmmaking style, and I'm actually gonna equate it to a childhood trauma of mine. One time, my mother, I thought I was getting a Sega Genesis for Christmas. So I'll let you know how far back we're going.
Okay.
And my mother wrapped all of my gifts in this really, really huge box with this awesome wrapping paper. And I was so pumped. And I open it up and I'm going through and I finally get to the bottom of the box and there's no Sega Genesis. I literally picked up the box, turned it over, and tapped on the bottom of it, thinking a Sega Genesis was just going to magically fall out. And it didn't. Yeah. So I have no desire. And Anita brings up a good point. But the thing is, I don't need another Constantine because Matt Ryan in the Arrowverse is doing Constantine amazing justice right now.
And I just don't know that I trust. Well, I don't trust J.J. Abrams. Anyone that's listened to our Star Wars Episode 9 podcast can tell you that I am. But
that was hours and hours and hours of hate.
even before that, though, I don't trust him to do dark. I
would trust the only people that I would trust J.J. Abrams over is Hugh Boll and Paul W.S. Anderson. All right. That's it. Matt Ryan is perfect as Constantine. I don't need to see J.J. Abrams. What he'll probably do now, granted, I'm not trash talking Keanu Reeves' Constantine take because it definitely is a lot better than I give it credit for, than a lot of people give it credit for. But J.J. Abrams' Constantine is probably gonna be freaking Zac Efron from Glee.
Well, two things.
No, thank you.
Zac Efron wasn't in Glee.
Are you sure?
High School Musical.
Oh, whatever. What's the difference?
Well, Glee was a grittier High School Musical.
Oh, okay.
Glee is what J.J. Abrams would have done if he was asked to do a dark version of High School Musical.
And that's why he should never be allowed to write or direct.
Right. Now, Joe makes a good point. I think that this is right. J.J. Abrams doesn't trust himself because so look, this picture of J.J. Abrams making Star Wars Episode 9 is so brilliant because
it is.
Because he's on a leash. Like he just bends to the will of whoever the loudest person in the room is. Like he doesn't trust his own convictions.
Absolutely. Like honestly, now if they told me that James Gunn was going to do a Justice League Dark, I'd be pregnant.
Yeah, and Flash was in Glee. So.
Yeah, he was. Oh, that's why he sings so well in Flash now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Grant Gustin.
So yeah, we're in the middle of our Glee rewatch.
Oh, really?
And we, I think, are past the part that the Flash is in. So
oh man, Yeah, he had to hurry up and run to the CW.
That's right. Yeah. We just got past the part where that kid overdosed on drugs in real life.
That's
so
sad.
Kind of a downer.
Little bit of a downer.
Yeah.
Just like J.J. Abrams directing your favorite films.
Yes. Speaking of which, not speaking of which, speaking of downers.
Yeah.
Some sad news this week in that San Diego Comic-Con is having to cancel this summer's event
but
for the first time in, I think, like 5 decades.
That's crazy. But are we really surprised?
Absolutely the right thing for them to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely was the right thing to do. If I may.
Supergirl was in Glee, by the way.
Anita, I love her.
You're right.
I love her so much.
I do
like
too.
She's amazing. Yeah. Well, we just finished the musical episode of the musical crossover of Supergirl and Flash.
Yeah.
So we're like all into them even more so now. But now this is the right move to make. All the states that are talking about, like Georgia, for example, oh, we're going to open up. And like, oh, great. So we're all going to die. Thank you.
Governor in Georgia is going to kill my fucking parents.
Brian Kemp is an idiot. He is
an idiot.
He's a bona fide schmuck.
This is not a political show, so we're going to hit the brakes real fast.
Yeah, real quick. The whole point is that San Diego Comic-Con closing down. That's the best thing that you could do. Because the fact that, like I said, we're in a freaking pandemic. Shout out to Ebony McMillan in the house. But yeah,
indeed. Also, Anthony Russell in the house. We've got a lot of people tuning in today. It's a big day, Brian.
This is an amazing day, and I am pumped. Like, share, subscribe, share more. Share. I want more people.
I thought you said, for real, because you said it so fast, I thought you said, I'm pumped, like, share. And I was like, how is Cher pumped?
Hashtag glass cutting nips.
That's right. Yes, indeed. You were talking about your glass cutting nips before we came on the air.
Yep. And they're they're telekinetically cutting someone's windshield right now, causing a 5-car pileup.
Yes. Also, in the bad news category this week, Disney Plus edited out some butts.
Oh, I'm not a fan. Like, here's the thing. I understand that a lot more kids are going to be on Disney Plus, but if you're going to have Splash on there, you know what you're getting. So why am I not seeing Daryl Hannah's finely shapely derriere? What the hell?
I'm with
Why?
You, and I want to say I'm coming out strongly against butt scrubbing.
I am totally against it.
In this climate, and in this, the butts is what is going to bring us together.
That's right. All butts.
I am now a little less likely to stay inside and watch Splash because there's no butts.
I know. You know what? That's it. I'm breaking social distancing because there are no butts in Splash.
Trevor says, wouldn't that be called Disney minus?
It is a Disney minus. Bum, bum, ba-dum,
yeah. And Ebony asks why. And I think the only answer is because Disney.
They're prudes.
Yeah. Now, I think 1 Million Moms or some other prude-like organization applauded Disney's choice to cover up Daryl Hannah's butt.
Don't even get me started on the PTC, Parents Television Council. These are the same jagoffs that tried to get rid of my Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel and stuff way back in the day. The Parents Television Council, you know what these people are? These are a bunch of nudniks, know nothing else to be able to do anything with themselves, and they hate sex themselves. Anything that is remotely sexual, it's evil to them. Only thing you're good for sex is procreation, nothing else. These people suck. And now, of course, they're going to be like, yay, scrub the butts from Disney Plus. Ew. Guess what, asshole? Kids can see nudity anywhere.
Butts is everywhere, like Anthony said in the comments.
Butts are here. Butts are there. They're all over.
Butts
Behold the field of butts.
Everywhere.
Hashtag butts is everywhere. That needs to be the t-shirt. That needs to be a Plotaholics t-shirt. Hashtag butts is everywhere. Yep. So you know what? I'm just gonna get this on
Nemo, that one like seahorse touched the butt. Did you remember that?
Yes, I do recall. So what are we gonna like just cut that entire scene?
Censor that butt out?
Yeah. And hey, the Little Mermaid wears a bra. I guess she's gonna have to be wearing a whole dress like she's in what are those people called that don't have electricity? The Amish? Yeah.
Yes. Or if you're in Fayetteville, the people that live on Ramsey Street. That I hear that they had a power outage today.
Ooh. Bottom line is, it's not like Daryl Hannah showed the lady part.
Right.
Okay?
There's no booty hole. It's just
the cheeks. It's not that big of a. I should start a petition.
Yo, like the comments are popping off about these butts.
I never knew that butts would get such a response.
I legitimately thought this was the story that people were going to be like, whatever. But like everybody is like, free the butts.
Free butt, free butt, free butt.
Oh, that's so funny.
I love you guys. I love all of you watching.
Yeah.
Sharon recently watched it, and you know what?
Was it like, the butt cut or was it the butt free cut?
It was a butt free cut. There were no butts involved.
There's a lot of story under that CGI'd hair.
There really is, man. I mean, come on, you're really taking out a lot of storyline plot points right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sons
there's
of
there's a real crack developing in the story.
That was so great. Yes. In these dark times,
the one thing that can bring us together is the separation between two cheeks.
That's right. And you know what? Daryl Hannah, the former basketball, she's got to be really angry about this. It's her butt that's in question.
Yeah, right. Not only that, but like she's probably really proud of it.
Oh, I would be. I mean, come on. She did like crazy ass flips in Blade Runner, and then she was a mermaid. The butt is real.
The butt is real.
Hashtag free the butt. Hashtag free the butt.
Butts is everywhere.
That's right.
Oh, this is an excellent episode so far.
This episode has been the most epic that we've had in quite some time.
The one butt, though, that I'm okay with censoring is the one that J.J. Abrams uses to make movies.
Yeah, that butt can go. Hell no, you must go.
All right, let's see. Now we'll pivot a little bit away from the butt. I hesitate, honestly. I feel like I'm going to spend the next week looking for all butt stories. Next week's Plotaholics is the all ass edition.
That's awesome.
We got a little bit of there we go. Hashtag butts is everywhere. We got a little teaser from the forthcoming Jurassic World film, Jurassic World Dominion. No butts here. Though you have to assume that there are butts just out of frame.
Yeah, well, if you censor the butt of a dinosaur, then are you really gonna have much of a dinosaur?
I think that I applaud Jurassic World and the entire franchise for not censoring dinosaur butts.
Yeah, me as well. You know
who else censored some butts? Cats. Cat censored butts.
Yeah, there were supposed to be some buttholes in there.
There were supposed to be buttholes in cats, and they censored all the buttholes. Now, that's terrible. I've got a cat, and I've watched him walk around, and I got to tell you, sometimes you can't avoid seeing butthole.
That's right.
So I am hashtag for the butthole cut.
I'm looking for one of my cats.
We don't need your cat's butthole. I'm talking about Taylor Swift as a cat with a butthole. Like
that would be amazing. Like, right? Honestly,
I mean, that's worth watching it, right?
That is definitely worth watching right there. I mean, can I just want to know though, why do cats feel the need to just like show that shit off? Like,
I don't know.
Look at it. It's right there. Perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so we got a little tease that there's going to be some snowy settings perhaps in this third Jurassic World. We've never seen snow in a Jurassic World movie before. But when I say that out loud, Brian, it sounds so unimportant compared to buttholes.
I know. I was just getting ready to say, well, be still my heart. There's gonna be snow in Jurassic Park. I'm not really a fan of these movies. I'm not a fan of Jurassic Park.
Right. So Brian is no longer able to be with us, as he has admitted to not liking movies with dinosaurs. What the hell is wrong with you?
You know what? I like the original, and
I agree. I agree with that. Yeah. But
even still, as much as I love the original, it wasn't. I didn't like trip. I tripped over myself to see it because I wanted to know how it was going to be done. Because when it came out, we didn't have that technology. The only thing we could have was like guys in rubber suits, and God help me, freaking Godzilla's idiot son that blows smoke rings.
Ebony was worried because I cut you out.
But I only like the first Jurassic Park, the one with Sam Neill. That's the only one I really like.
I love that one too. All the OGs are coming back for this though, including Dr. Grant.
All right, well then you know what? I'll check this one out because here's the thing. I like Bryce Dallas Howard, but I don't love her enough to like go and see a movie where she's a franchise lead.
I honestly just wish that Chris Pratt had done the Indiana Jones reboot and not done the Jurassic Park movie.
I agree 150% on that because Lord knows we didn't need Shia LaBeouf to carry that franchise. I'd rather have Chris Pratt.
For sure. Well, we're gonna get a redo on that Indiana Jones stuff.
Good, because
and I still
seriously
think Chris Pratt needs to do it.
I agree because honestly, seriously, who the hell thought that Harrison Ford flying through a nuclear blast in a freaking refrigerator was a good idea?
Well, we're not going to talk about Indiana Jones.
Yeah, let's not.
But I mean, of the Crystal Skull
that doesn't even exist. You're talking about something that's not even real.
I know, it was a fan film.
Yeah, exactly. And we've gotten so much better fan films on YouTube.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think it's cool that they're going to be going to a different land, change the scenery a bit because. I mean, I think a snowy landscape can actually do a lot of things visually that they haven't been able to do.
The gates are open and the dinosaurs are now living amongst us all over the planet.
Yay! Sweet, I can finally get a pet raptor.
Yes, you could get a pet raptor, I think. But there's probably a Funko Pop for it.
Oh, well, that's even better.
Yes, it is. Also this week, Brian, Vanity Fair gave us a first look at the forthcoming Dune film, starring literally every person ever.
Can I just say that Oscar Isaacs and his beard is enough to just make dreams come true?
He is sporting quite the dreamy beard here.
It's almost as good as Shane Wilson's beard.
Oh, my corn beard is coming in full effect this week for sure.
Shane Wilson is doing his best Ben Roethlisberger Yukon Sam. Yukon Cornelius. Sorry,
I spent a great deal of time before we came on just doing this to it.
Yo, I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send you a pic with a fist for you to pick your beard out.
I'll just like stick the pic in the beard and just leave. Just let it hang there.
You know, if you're not careful, you're gonna have a bird living in your beard.
Look, the other night we were eating pizza and like a piece of crust like fell in my beard, and Michelle like tried to get it out, and she was like, "I don't know if it fell out or if it's further in."
I could just see you now bringing food up, little bird just comes up.
Right.
You end up losing a ton of weight. You won't even need your Peloton bike.
I know. Yeah. But this movie has Zendaya, it has Oscar Isaac, it has Jason Momoa, it has Thanos.
Damn, everyone is it. Like, seriously. I even heard Clint Howard might even be in this movie.
That is maybe. I mean, there are a ton of other pictures in the Vanity Fair article. And Trevor is probably right.
Yeah, this is a movie that needs multiple parts.
Yeah, this is like The Hobbit did not need multiple parts.
No.
Dune needs multiple parts.
Yes, it does. Like, I still have the Dune audiobook, and it's still so hard for me to follow. Like, I'm actually going to have to really dig in deep on that. But I'm excited for this. I do want to see it because I love big epics. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited. And Oscar Isaac, man, this guy, he for me has been the best part of the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Yes.
You know, because Poe Dameron is just...
who was the worst part?
Yep, that's true. He was about the worst of the worst. Like, honestly, I put Jar Jar ahead of him.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about that. But Oscar Isaac is
direct the next Star Wars movie.
I'd be all for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. Oscar Isaac's made a shitty X-Men movie look awesome as hell.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
He truly is. Oscar Isaac is such a great actor, and everything he does is just better than the last thing. So yeah. I'm very excited for this. And then to see him and Josh Brolin with some Jason Momoa, I think there's going to be there's going to be a huge upsurgence of the population because a lot of people are going to be getting pregnant.
Yeah, probably. That's how that works, I think.
Yeah. Well, we have Oscar Isaacs and Josh Brolin and then Jason Momoa. Oh, yeah. There's going to be some baby making.
Also this week, Brian, we were treated to the reboot trailer for Peacock's Saved by the Bell. Quick question. Is this a reboot or is this a sequel? Because if Mario Lopez is AC Slater, then it has to be a sequel, right?
It's a sequel. I watched this teaser. Is there any way that I can maybe start a letter writing campaign to get my precious time back?
I mean, I hesitate to even do this to you, but I you know, I mean, and we're not going to listen to it, but yeah. So you, what do you think? It still sort of feels a little bit like old school 90s Saved by the Bell, but it sort of looks like almost like mid 2000s sitcom.
It does
cinematography.
It really does. And so now basically, I mean, yeah, because you saw the throwback to the guys doing their Barbaran, and Slater's like the loser gym teacher that's picking on the kids. And I don't know what to think of this. Like, honestly, I'm still kind of mad that Lark Voorhees wasn't even asked to be involved.
Yeah.
That upsets me.
Did I hear that he was going to be involved?
Lisa Turtle.
Sorry. I was thinking of Zach because I saw Ebony's comment.
Zach Morris is trash.
Now, Zach Morris is trash.
He is trash.
But I think that Zach was maybe approached. But now talk about what you were saying.
Well, Lark Voorhees, who played Lisa Turtle.
Right.
Who was the only black member of the cast. And I'm pretty sure she was only like 3 other black kids in all of Bayside. Her, the one nerd with the glasses, and the one other dude that she liked with glasses, and that was it. But she had some mental health issues over the last few years, and she's been getting herself together. And they haven't even asked her to be involved.
Yeah, that is pretty shitty.
It is.
Approached Kelly Kapowski?
I believe everyone else is. Even Screech is showing up.
Jesus.
Yeah, she was not invited
then
at all.
Then it can't be, Screech. Talk about a troubled post Saved by the Bell.
Oh my God. he fought Horseshack. He did a scat movie.
I think that he only fought Horseshack to prove that they were different people.
I guess. I mean, I still don't see the difference.
But yeah, he did a film.
Yeah, he did a scat movie. And yeah, originally
not to be confused with the scat movie that Jesse Spano did called Showgirls.
Yeah.
This cast is kind of wild, man.
Yeah, like so far we're only seeing Jesse and AC, but I do believe the other members of the cast are going to be there. And
Ebony is right. They did not invite Zach originally. He did find out from the announcement. We talked about that whenever it was first announced. But I feel like I read that he has been approached since then, but I don't know for sure.
Honestly, this is once again, they're trying to recapitalize on the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, we saw this on Fox with the attempted 90210 reboot, which I did kind of like. I'm not going to lie, that had the original cast back. I did enjoy that, but it didn't really last. It didn't really keep my attention for a long period of time, but it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But honestly, and Trevor, as good, I would say this will never work as a show, but they're still trying out new Power Rangers.
I think you have to decide, and this is ultimately the question that any reboot has to ask itself.
Or sequel.
Who is it for? If it's for us, then it won't work. But if it's for kids, then they can't put too much emphasis on the original cast.
Right.
And that's why Fuller House on Netflix did pretty well, because that wasn't for us.
No, it was
for a new generation.
But they made it in a particular way to keep us interested. Like, honestly, I only watched the first season. That's all I could really stomach, because Candace Cameron Bure.
Oh, it's not good. It's terrible.
It's not. It's really not.
It's not for me.
And I'm not a big fan of Candace Cameron Bure or her brother Kirk. I'm really not.
Well, creationism is real because of bananas.
Bananas. But
Um,
I'll tell you the truth though, and to jump on what Trevor was saying, if they would have made the Power Rangers movie based off of the fan film that was on YouTube that Saban actually had scrubbed from YouTube, but there was such a huge backlash that it came back. If they would have made it based off of that, that movie would have been awesome.
well, the Power Rangers movie suffered from the same thing, is they couldn't decide who they wanted it to be for.
Right.
Um,
Absolutely. Well, that's why I'm saying if they would have made it dark like that fan film,
yeah.
I think it would have been a lot better.
If you want to go after the original fans of the original series, then it has to feel a little bit like that, but it also has to feel more mature because we're all adults now. And I think that's
Exactly.
what they tried to do. I liked that movie.
It
I was
wasn't
here for it.
bad. It wasn't bad. I would
I
have
hated the
liked to see.
CGI really. Like I thought that the movie itself was fine.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it. I thought it was kind of cool. And I would have liked to have seen a sequel with Tommy Oliver
Yeah.
because I'm sorry, Zach was my favorite character in the original Power
Yeah.
Rangers. And then Tommy showed up and I was just like, screw all the rest of you guys.
Yeah, I feel
Just
like
give me
that
Zach.
happened. I think that happened for everybody.
Yeah, it was just like, dude, Tommy is way cooler than all y'all.
Yeah, because
Sorry.
I was a Jason guy when I was a kid, and then Tommy showed up, and I was like, "Never mind, that dude's got a shield."
Yo, and his fighting
He-
style,
he can play the-
is just awesome.
He can play the flute through a mask. Love. I mean, honest. So we watched the. This is how you know, like quarantine is throwing us in the deep end on pop culture stuff.
Oh boy.
We watched the original, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie with Ivan Ooze. We watched that last week sometime.
That's a
where was
5-shot rating.
I think it was so fun though. They had to fight those birds and those big things made out of rocks. I mean, like again, the CGI was real shitty. I would much rather them just put people in rubber suits and let them fight.
Yeah.
I love that. That's my favorite shit. Like put some people in a big rubber suit.
Yeah, so you want to see a dude in a rubber suit as Godzilla sliding across the screen on his tail.
Yeah, I love that shit, man. Like that is my shit for sure. I love it.
It's the one and only time boys looked up to a guy playing a flute. You're not wrong, Trevor. You're not wrong. So
yeah. Well,
so
do you
yeah,
remember when he was the White Ranger and he had that little tiger that lived on the end of the sword? Yeah.
Saba.
That little dude talked sometimes. That was so wild.
I really loved is that the Green Ranger had his own soundtrack when he'd be fighting. Go Green Ranger.
Like he's the only one that got an independent theme song too.
Yep.
Like,
and then when he became the White Ranger, it was all even more metal. Go White Ranger, go! I'm like, dude.
Yeah, like the other Rangers totally got the shaft on that. No wonder the original cast left pretty quick after he showed up.
I'm serious. I'd be like, you know what, man? Screw this. Y'all ain't even acting like you care about me no more. Deuces.
Have you seen the episode? Have you watched any of the Toys That Made Us on Netflix?
I have, yes. I'm up to I think G.I. Joe now.
You got to watch the Power Rangers episode. It's awesome.
I definitely will be. As a matter of fact, once we finish this episode of Flash, I'm probably going to take a little breather from the Arrowverse for a few minutes.
Yeah,
probably go to that.
It's like it's really good. That Star Wars episode of the Toys That Made Us is wild.
Oh, it is so amazing. Like there's so much history in that, and I really am mad at myself for not saving my Star Wars toys.
All right, I know.
And my He-Man toys.
Yeah, that's another good one. Did you feel bamboozled when they explained how they made some of those toys? Like where they would like just cut down old figures and just paint new faces.
I felt so lied to. I really did.
Yeah.
Well, you remember the one Hordak, the werewolf guy? Not Beastman, but the one werewolf Hordak.
Yeah.
I remember I cut his fur off. And his figure underneath, it was like a bottle, a brown bottle that had the little slots for the arms and legs. That thing was literally all freaking fur. I'm like, wow.
Well, I told you that I set my Green Ranger on fire after I broke his arm off by accident.
Yeah. All my He-Man men, their arms were interchangeable. I had Man at Arms' arm on Skeletor.
Head with He-Man.
I was too. People's arms were on other people. The wrong arm was on the wrong body, so he only had one arm, and it was going to the back. It was horrible.
Oh man. let's see. I think that's it for news, which means that it is time for
the Plotaholics minute reviews.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll go first.
Okay, what you got?
This week I watched another Blumhouse middle of the road trifling piece of shit called Fantasy Island.
So you weren't a fan of Michael Pena in this one?
Okay, so I will say this for Michael Pena. I was not.
Poor Luis.
He was fine. Honestly, like this movie is a very special kind of frustrating because it was so like on its way to being really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just didn't stick the landing, you know? And I don't want to talk too much about it. Everybody is familiar with the premise. A bunch of people get invited to go to this island. I kept calling it Paradise Island. I think I recorded a drunk review for it, and the fact that I said I think tells you all you need to know.
I still refer to Fantasy Island as Fantastic Island because of the Daffy Duck's Fantastic Island.
Right, but we kept looking up like stuff about it, but every time we would Google it, we would type Paradise Island and it would come up with some reality show, and I'm like, this is not what we're watching at all.
But I'd rather watch this.
Right, yeah. So these people go to this island, and Michael Pena tells them that they can pretty much have any fantasy that they want. And everybody kind of goes through varying degrees. Like there's the two guys that just want to have it all. So they're given like the big party and the big house and all this stuff. And there's a girl that wants to get revenge on her high school bully. And so they like kidnap the chick and bring her in, tie her to a chair. And so she can just do whatever she wants to the chick. Like it is wild. And for like an hour and 15 minutes, I was like, yeah, like this is cool, man. And then at the end of it, I was like, no.
And then I'm like, no.
So I give like the first half of it, you know, like a one shot, and then by the end of it, it was like a 3 or 4.
See, I think this movie probably would have been better if we would have found out the story via Luis.
If the entire thing, if it started at the end and the whole thing was a flashback, yeah, I'm
right.
with that.
Yeah, so you know my cousin Ignacio, right? He told me how I get to this island.
Yes. Brian, this week you watched the new Fox sitcom, I believe, Outmatched.
Yeah, I've been watching this the last 10 episodes. In this series, this is a obviously a Jason Biggs run vehicle. Let me pull up my notes here because I actually had notes for this, Shane. I never have notes, but I have notes.
That's good.
Yeah, you know, I try to be a professional. But anyway, so Jason Biggs plays Mike, and Maggie Lawson is Kay. They're a married couple on the Jersey Shore. Mike is I believe he's a mechanic or something, and he's a teacher, I think. And his wife.
Just to get it straight, you have notes, and you've watched 10 episodes, and you don't know his job.
Yeah, no, that just goes to show how important his job is.
Okay.
But his wife, Kay, works at the casino in on the strip. So they're regular people. She was actually his bully in school. She bullied him all throughout school. And they have 4 kids together. 3 of their kids are super geniuses. Their youngest kid, I think she's smarter than she gets off than she lets on, but she's kind of like the goofball. So literally the whole premise is the parents being intimidated by their genius children. And they have their oldest son, Brian, and let me take a look here. Their daughter, their middle child, Nicole, played by Ashley Botcher. And then they have their third son, their third child, Mark, who just tested on a Mensa level. And he's actually smarter than his older siblings. So the first couple episodes are the older siblings being pissed off that he's smarter than they are.
Yeah.
And the cute little the little girl Oakley Ball plays Leela. She's the younger kid, and she's a little scary in her own right. She seems like she's going to probably kill somebody one day. But Tisha Campbell, from that we know from House Party, as well as Zach and Miri Make a Porno, among other amazing features. Plays Kay's best friend Rita. Her and her husband sort of act as just partners of the Jason Biggs and Maggie Lawson. It's a very interesting show.
Is it a traditional sort of 3-camera?
Yeah, with the laugh track involved and
Right,
everything.
okay.
But it's kind of cool because we actually we get a mini American Pie reunion in one episode where Allison Hannigan and Eddie K. Thomas show up as the parents of a kid who's friends with the Genius Kids. So that's really interesting. And then if I recall correctly, Tony Danza actually plays Jason Biggs' father in this show.
All right.
So
that's kind of cool.
You can get caught up on it on Hulu. I think it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Is it better than the Big Show?
Yes. Leaps and bounds is better than the Big Show.
All right.
But it's really funny because they treat these kids as if they're like demons because they're so smart.
Yeah.
And the parents, they run to the basement to hide from the smart kids.
No.
There's actually one episode.
I might give it a go tonight.
Yeah, I would definitely check it out on Hulu. And I really hope that they keep up with it because it seems like it might have been a mid-season replacement.
Right.
Because I haven't seen a new episode as of yet. Maybe they're on a little break.
Everything was on a little bit of a break. Like the Fox animated shows just came back this past Sunday. They were on a break for 2 or 3 weeks.
All right. So we might get a new episode, if not this week, then maybe next week.
Yeah.
But I would definitely go to Hulu to check it out. But yeah, if you love Jason Biggs, and I definitely do, I try to watch everything Jason Biggs does because he's an amazing actor.
He's really come a long way too.
He truly has. He came a long way from being the guy that screwed the pie.
That's right.
And like I said, this movie, a lot of the critics and a lot of the IMDb ratings are giving it sort of middle of the road reviews. Some people think it's not funny. But honestly, I think it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Well, then we will give that a shot this week sometime. I told my mom, I talked to her yesterday. I said, I think that we've watched every movie. Like since we've been cooped up for the last 5 weeks, I think we've watched everything. So
I haven't even gotten into my Blu-ray, into my physical media yet.
Yeah,
but I definitely.
Well, we've definitely watched all of the home premieres.
Oh, okay.
Like all the new stuff that's been coming out. So, including Trolls 2 World Order.
Every time I hear Troll 2, oh my God.
Right? Yeah.
Although I have revisited 2 older movies that I'm actually planning on writing articles for Plotaholics.com about.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, so I actually, over the weekend, I watched Wildcats, the 1986 sports comedy starring Goldie Hawn.
Right.
And a young Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
And that's basically a film about a woman named Molly McGrath who loves football. Her main desire is to be a football coach. And due to sexism, the school that she coaches girls track won't hire her to be the JV coach, even though she's a qualified applicant. So the only way she could be a varsity football coach is to coach a school on the south side of Chicago in the ghetto. So, and it's very, very interesting. There's a lot of sexist tropes that are really destroyed in this film. It deals with a lot of things, and it's actually a much better film than I ever gave it credit for. I also watched Halle Berry's first feature film, Strictly Business.
Oh, yeah.
And it stars her, Halle Berry, Tommy Davidson, and Joseph C. Phillips, who was most known for being Denise Huxtable's husband on The Cosby Show.
Yeah.
And a young Sam Rockwell as well, before he was dancing like an idiot in Iron Man 2.
So you've been digging through the archives a little bit. Maybe we should start a Plotaholics Classics article run.
I think that would be a good idea. I definitely would I've got 2 entries for that right now.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Brian, it's just about at the top of the hour. Let's remind everybody that they can find us in all of the places at the bottom of your screen over at plotaholics.com and on Facebook, the Tweet Machine, and the Instag at Plotaholics. I am abysmally inactive on 2 of those 3.
I am way more active than I care to give myself credit for, but that's because I'm promoting books.
You can also indeed find my information at the top. Brian is over there. And Brian has just put out a new book. I've been working on an album for the last few weeks. I've been like really digging into the music stuff. So yeah, so you can
good stuff too, man. You guys, when Shane puts that stuff up, man, give it a listen because I was digging some of the stuff I heard, man.
I appreciate that. You should listen to this one song that I put up called Angry James if you haven't. It's about a douchebag at the bar. So
I'm there.
And I didn't know him. It's a true story. I just met this guy. Well, I didn't meet him really. He was just this guy at the bar. And you know how some guys just have that energy, just that like douchebag energy.
Yep.
This guy had it, and he was wearing like a tank top and white jeans and a white fedora. And
douchebag.
And I told Jerry, the guy I was hanging out with, I was like, that dude looks like a little tiny angry James Franco. And so the song that's where the name comes from. Angry James.
Did I tell you about the guy that I almost beat up in a bar a couple of years ago?
No.
So I go up to the bar to get something to drink. You know, my friends were all laughing and whatnot. And this dude, bro, you know, he looks over, dude, bro. And he actually goes, dude, bro, you look like CeeLo Green. And I was looking, I was like, no, I don't. Yeah, you do. And I'm like, look, you don't know me. Just leave me alone. But I'm saying, I said, dude, you don't know me to be trying to bust my balls.
Right.
I don't look shit like him. Just because I'm black don't mean I look like fucking CeeLo Green. Oh, but dude, and then his buddy goes, you know what? Let me buy you a drink. And I'm like,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, some people just have that energy, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, make sure that you check out everything that Brian's doing, everything that I'm doing, and keep up with the Plotaholics. And we will see you guys. Well, we've got a new podcast that'll come out for Dodgeball that will launch on Sunday night or Monday of next week. And then we'll be right back here next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another round of Free the Butt.
That's right. But make sure you guys check out our episode this week. Yes, we did Half Baked, the Dave Chappelle 1998 classic. Check it out because, oh man, Cecil.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
We will we'll talk to you guys next week. We're the Plotaholics, a breakfast club of 2. We're the Plotaholics, ripping plots apart for you.